It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, everybody. This is Samson Li coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Welcome to today's Global Connect. So it's my honor to be here in front of all of you today around the world to share with you a very simple lesson about building this business. Today, we're going to talk about something called duplication. So duplication, from a traditional standpoint, it's also something that from small to big, you need to scale up your business. So in our 3 international business, you pretty much do sales and marketing. So we are paid to share, to help others become more healthy, to help others find opportunity. Maybe through the opportunity, they can have more money, more time, maybe get to know people, get in a community of like-minded individuals, and maybe grow and make friends around the world. So that's kind of what we do at 3. So how do we, though, scale it from using our own efforts to really building an organization of hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people? So this is actually a pretty deep topic. I don't have years to explain to you. My own background in real estate, in a furniture business, having a number of stores, and then, scaling down back to just by myself as an auctioneer, and then found success in our industry, or in our cross-border e-commerce industry the past 20 years. Well, it's been quite a lesson, quite a journey. So today I will share with you some of the key points that I think everybody needs to understand. And if you are in business for yourself outside of the space, if you're in traditional business, maybe a store or maybe an office, a real estate office, anything in sales or marketing, well, today you're going to learn some of the secrets, how to grow a small business, a tiny business, a one-person business that you work from your phone to potentially a global empire. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and start my PowerPoint. Let me make sure it's up, and we can go ahead and share with all of you some ideas that will stimulate your thinking. Hopefully you can apply it. Okay, now it's always like when we build a business, do we want it hard or small, or easy, right? If it's small, if it's hard, it's gonna be small. If it's easy, well, that's the best way to do it. Okay. Now, no matter what, you need to work hard at it. That's a given. If you want success, you got to overcome many things. But most of the time you have to overcome yourself and what comes out of your mind and your mouth, right? So, well, duplication is the idea of really scaling up from a small business to a massive business. So you start by understanding that building your business with a system helps you to duplicate. Now, so what does that mean? Well, I remember many years ago, when I was 19, I got my real estate license, and I got into real estate and mortgage business. And I spend my time looking for clients, try to do loans and maybe sell houses or get houses to sell, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I was trading my time for money. Well, it's not even because most of the time I work for free until I get a deal, right? So I was by myself, but how to really propel my business forward is all done with personal effort. And maybe I had some training, do this, do this, do this, do this. But when you start anything new that you don't know and you just start to learn, you always have that doubt. So how does it is it really done? Well, it's been proven over and over again in business that system that operates with or without you can help you build a business and scale up to massive, massive size. Okay. So you have to implement a system. So part of that system is you got to connect with others when you build the business. How what do I mean? Well, yes, now we're in the tech age, in the modern age where yeah, you can have computer system, plug and play and supposed to do its own thing. Well, but you still need the human connection, the human factor to create this business. And as a matter of fact, businesses, for those of you, if you have a job or you have your own business, well, let me define what business is. Business is just simply exchange of value, but that exchange is between human beings. So that's what I mean by connection with others. And many times, you don't really get to the nitty gritty, to the really down to the earth when the rubber meets the road. That you always talk straight and heart to heart in a way. Yeah, maybe before that you have to do a song and dance, and have a different posture to get advantage, and maybe negotiate and all that. But at the end of the day, the really strong business people, they just don't have time to waste. And they just tell it like it is. I love it. One of the sharks on Shark Tank, one of my favorite shows, and this show is around the world. You can find it on YouTube. It features a number of very wealthy individuals who are approached by, on the show, many, many people who have maybe inventions or services that they want investors in. And these sharks, quote unquote, maybe evaluate their business to see if it's worthy to be invested in. Well, that connection is very important. Does that business have connection? What is the customer acquisition cost, for example? That's a very common question. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? Well, if it's a dollar amount, yeah, absolutely. But also that connection, the stronger the connection, the better you'll be able to build your business. Okay. And in the system, literally in the system, because in any system, in any business, there are people, the human factor. So always, when you build the business, keep it simple. Take yourself out of the way. What I mean is, this is the number one thing people do wrong at the very beginning of our business, especially if you've never done sales or promoting before, okay? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I have something, I got to share." They start by maybe the product, what it is. Maybe then, if you get a little bit better, you start to talk about the feature and benefits, and then maybe you get even better. You tell them that the result, the possible result that they can get, what change they can get. But even at the very highest level, the best people who can promote and really, acquire customers or and have good results is when you talk about what feeling people can get from using the product or service. That's actually how simple it is. And the thing is, a lot of people, they don't know what to say, especially at the beginning, right? That's the number one problem. If you've never done sales, you never talked to other people about anything, you never promoted anything, well, let me tell you, number one, we sell ourselves anyway all the time, right? So we want people to like us. We're trying to sell ourselves of who we are. And that's good and bad in a way in business because a lot of time it's not only about that. It's really about the value of who you are, how you can help others. If you keep that in mind, keep it simple, that's the best way. Don't try to make the sale because people often try way too hard and the other person reads you right away. It's not about that. Business is about I have something good, like it, and then there are people who need help with what I have. When there's a demand, you get business. That's what it means. So in this business, in three, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Though we have a system, a way to do the business, to look at the business, and all this knowledge and training are from people, very diverse group of people who have already achieved success in this industry over many years, and they openly share their knowledge and wisdom with all of you. The question is, will you value it, and then will you use it? Build your business by following the system is the easiest way. It's like any business, there's a way to do things. Would you like to spend time to try to figure it out? Or would you rather just follow what somebody successful is already doing? Okay. So my experience, let me tell you, I did the other way around. I really tried to figure out first and do it my own way. No matter how many trainings I go to, well, it is what it is. I thought I was smart enough to figure it out. And that was the word. I wanted to figure it out. But actually, you don't need to figure out too much. It's already been figured out for you. But do you believe it? Do you trust it? Will you use it? Well, with this system is how people go from one to many. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Whatever you do, consider this. If you want to build business, and we'll talk about duplication today, whatever you do, you can get result, but that might not really matter. Because if you only have so much time in a day and you can only get limited results with the time and resources that you as an individual have. But when you have in the system build a team of people, build an organization, just like in any other business, you have to build a team. The question then is, well, if you're successful in what you do and how you do it, can they do what you do? Can others do what you do? If let's say, for example, you spend like thousands of dollars in advertising. Well, I don't know if everybody can do that. They could if they have the resources, but what if they can't? And let's say, you know how to do very fancy graphics, you make great flyers and you pass it on and all that. Well, if somebody don't know how to do that, how can they do what you do? And then if they don't have the time, how can they pass out so many flyers like you? Or nowadays is online, whatever, right? Reaching out to people. So many years ago, I figured out, you know what? If I want to build something, got to keep it so simple that whatever I do, somebody else can do. So we're going to get to that right now. Do the simple things. Don't make it complicated. Don't do the complicating things. First, when you talk to others, ask questions to connect. The number one fear for many people is, oh, I don't know what to say. How do I begin a conversation? Oh, I'm shy. Well, instead, ask them questions. So just don't ask a yes or no question like, "Oh, great weather today. We're having, right?" And they'll say, "Yeah, we're having great weather. Yeah, sunny day." Don't ask that type of question because that goes right into their automatic response mode. And what happened is that it'll be a yes or no question, and it'll be hard to continue the conversation. Rather, ask an open-ended question. Like, oh, wow, I think I've seen you here before. How often do you come? Do you come here often? Right? So you ask questions that make them think. So many years ago, I figured, I got to learn how to ask questions. I came from a traditional business owner. I never asked anybody anything. I tried to figure it out myself. Well, instead, you got to learn to ask questions. So what I did was I literally write down the words who, what, when, why, how, okay, and then and why. So those are the words to ask questions. So I try to figure out how to constantly use those words to continue the conversation. Okay. And of course, though, sometimes you ask too many, or they think you're nosy. So instead, maybe you can ask a couple questions and then you can volunteer a piece of yourself so they know you also. And then you ask a few more questions, and you want to lead them to maybe the subject of money, health, maybe time freedom, life, whatever else it comes up in the conversation. Okay, so ask questions to connect, meet them where they are, whatever they're saying, you know what? Identify what that is and see if you have something in common with them, or ask them a question so that maybe they on a topic that you have in common with them. So meet them where they are and also empathize with their situation. That's how you make connections. I think, most people can do that. Then, look, if there's a need that they have, you can share some information. Now, I always say that, look, if they're small interest, give them little information. If they have a lot of interest, give them a lot more information. People like for example, there are 3 hour podcasts out there. All right. Not everybody has 3 hours. Well, who would listen to it? Only people who are very, very invested in that kind of program. Most people would just watch the maybe 30-second clip, or maybe 5 to 10 to 15 minute clip the most if they have that much time to invest. But share the information according to their level of interest. You can always go back and share more information, or if they have any more questions. So, well, if they're positive to it, what you want is you want to invite the guest to an event along with your sponsor or leader. So you're not by yourself. Okay. So, and that's part of duplication when your guests see that, oh, the business or whatever you talk about is not only about you. It's not only you getting results from the product, it's other people too. Or it's not only you doing the business, there are other people too. Well, they know that it's not just you. It makes it more real for them. So this is also leverage. Some often, your guests might have some question. If you instead of you answering, your sponsor or leader can help you answer those questions. Okay, this is called leverage. And I remember for the first couple of years, I did not leverage anybody. I did not use my sponsor or team leader to help me talk for me. I thought I was smart enough. Well, that's the old thinking. Okay, look, if you invite your sponsor or leader to work with you, with your guest, after your guests enroll in the business, become a business partner, they will probably also do the same. They'll ask you or a team leader to help them also in the business. So that's duplication. So, and like I said, that's how you answer the question. Look, when there's no more question, you know what? Enroll and onboard. So when you do onboarding, they're learning how to start the business. Okay, so pretty much, look, you show them what to do the same thing as you did, and always use tools, just like leveraging your sponsor or leader. Use a website, social media, YouTube, video calls, etc. Use little clips, like I said, if their interest is small. If they have longer, deeper, bigger interest, use longer tools to help you. Okay. So sometimes it's almost like the less talking you do, the better. Okay. Because nowadays people don't buy what you by you telling them anything. They buy through their own educational process that they learn from you. So you pretty much you're not the message, okay? You are the messenger delivering a message. You're a messenger delivering a message. That's all you're doing. Let them do the deciding, and you're just here to answer and help them answer the questions that they might have. Now, the power of leverage is plugging into the system. So events are the lifelines and environments to thrive for your business. A type of events are, like, for example, online calls on various platforms such as WhatsApp, phone. You can do Facebook, Zoom, etc. Whatever platform you use the calls. Not only you yourself, so, with your leaders. Another types of events are face-to-face, from small to large opportunity showcase, for example, and training. Sometimes it's better to have Kim train than I train, or maybe Christine Peterson train instead of me, okay, or some other leader train instead of me, because sometimes you can say 100 times the same thing, but when they hear from somebody else, they get it. So it's just how some things are. Another type of events are open house where you have different leaders showcase the wellness and opportunity and also maybe some product sampling, etc. So this is a great community events where people can gather. So we have regional events, we've had in the past around the world, North America and Asia, where many teams come together to do an opportunity meeting and a large face-to-face training. But also we have national and international events. For example, we just had the Salt Lake City events, and also this month, in July 2025, we'll have our grand opening for Malaysia and Taiwan. So those are events. And now, go back to the very top of the page. Events are lifelines and environments to thrive. Many times, when we are like a fish out of water, we will have a very hard time. We lose our motivation because we become alone. No, what I realized is many years ago, that's what I did. I did not plug into the events. It's all like in my head. Well, folks, you got to get out of your head if you want to get somewhere where you've never been before, you have to get out of your own thinking. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to learn how other people think and operate, other successful people. Okay. So national, international, all these events are so important that, I wish all of you were in Salt Lake City where I felt I would think everybody at the event, felt really full in their heart from it. They found their motivation, they found the inspiration, and they're ready to go. Oh, we have a new product for North America. It's so exciting. And also, we saw many leaders who were from where they were before to now. We can see them on stage and they're growing and sharing and what they have experienced. So powerful. So look, we are an incredible platform, and you don't want to do the business ever by yourself. Okay. If you're struggling out there, just ask for help. And look, and ask the people on your team too. Maybe you haven't seen them for a while. Maybe, haven't talked to them for a while. Well, see how they're doing, you know? And so, in a sense, as you progress in the business, know that leaders knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Okay? So that's with John Maxwell. And teach your success to others. That's the real duplication. That's how you can make this business work tremendously. Many times in the past, now I remember 20 years ago when I first started in the industry, well, I did everything myself. And that was the problem. Because if any business, and that was the same mistake, and that's why, in a way, I failed in my furniture retail business because I was the boss. If the boss is no good, the business is no good. So when I look back, I realized, you know what? That was my mistake. In any business, that's the mistake. You got to find people better than you to work with in your business so you can have a better business. Now, everybody plays a part. We're all like a cog in the wheel. We are the ones who make the wheel turn and hold it together. But at the same time, just be open to work together, teamwork, community, sharing. It doesn't matter who, we all want the best for everybody. That's the culture we're building here. And on top of that, you know what? If Three was a company that can help you, that can help others around you break there's cycles of not having enough. Maybe a cycle of just the lack of a purpose in life. Maybe people around you, maybe even yourself, are struggling every day just to get ahead. Maybe you're in survival mode, or maybe you're past that and you need more time for yourself, and you want to change your career. Well, you know what, folks? This is here. We are all here to help you. All right. So don't forget, duplication is one of the very important keys for your success in this business. So watch it again and again and again. You'll get some more tips. Okay. So I'm just one of many. So stay tuned. Keep connecting to the Global Connect. And we're archiving it on our Spark Global channel in the playlist, Global Connect. Okay. So God bless all of you. Have a fantastic day, afternoon, and an evening. And may your business thrive wherever you are. Thank you very much, folks.